Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today I present on behalf of the International Disability Alliance and the International Disability and Development Consortium. IDA is a global network of 7 global and 4 regional organisations of persons with disabilities and their families, representing the 1 billion persons with disabilities worldwide from both the global south and the global north. IDA is the largest collective voice of civil society organisations run by and for persons with disabilities. IDDC is a global consortium of more than 20 disability and development NGOs, mainstream development NGOs and organisations of persons with disability supporting disability and development work in more than 100 countries. The Secretary-General's synthesis report is an important contribution to the post-2015 process. The vision of the report contains a universal agenda of equality, equity, participation, people and the planet at its core. However, the report could have been stronger and clearer, calling for the creation of universal and common indicators shared across countries to guarantee cross-comparison of progress. Globally, there are 1 billion persons with disabilities, of whom 80% live in developing countries and are overrepresentative amongst those living in absolute poverty, and we must ensure that persons with disabilities are not left behind. Consequently, for persons with disabilities, the most significant part of the Secretary-General's report is that it is people-centred and that the Secretary-General reaffirms the principle that no one should be left behind. This means that no goal or target can be met unless met for all social and economic groups, including persons with disabilities. In addition, the Secretary-General reaffirms that the post-2015 development agenda must advance human rights equally for all. Although the recognition of the core human rights values cannot happen without a reference to the UN-CRPD, of which its core principle and obligations mandate that realisation of inclusive societies based on respect and inherent dignity. The SDGs exhibit the same vision as the UN-CRPD. However, the synthesis report lacks ambition for persons with disabilities. Although we do agree with the Secretary-General that the quest for effective solutions to an increasingly complex global agenda demands a far-reaching set of goals and targets. We consider that any potential technical review of the proposed targets should be done in an open and participative manner, with a view to improve and strengthening the international proposal, not weakening it. People with disabilities are missing in Section 4 on mobilising the means to implement our agenda, despite the fact that the report of the ICESDF specifically highlighted persons with disabilities. Furthermore, accessibility must be a key criteria in the mobilisation and execution of domestic and international resources. Meaningful accountability would, as emphasised in the report, be rooted at the national level, closest to the people. The accountability framework must also be supported by an enabling environment of strong civic education, civil and political rights, and access to and participation in the collection of disaggregated data. The section on monitoring, evaluation and reporting falls short on citizens' participation and presents citizens, including those with disabilities, largely as beneficiaries rather than active actors in the implementation and accountability. Global partnership should be focused on the needs of the most vulnerable, such as persons with disabilities, and the participation of all stakeholders, including civil society. To sum up recommendations, the declaration should have an explicit reference to the UNCRP guiding the post-2015 process. Terminology such as inclusion for all, accessibility, participation and reduce and increase should equally be used for all social and economic groups. Poverty reduction should be explicitly inclusive of persons with disabilities. No goal or target will be met if not able to be met for all, which can only be achieved by disaggregation of data by disability status and other marginalised groups. Specific attention should be given to women and children with disabilities. Targets need to be measurable and inclusive, and indicators must be specific to persons with disabilities. Indicators need to be broadly disaggregated across all goals and targets, and progress must be measured in ways that persons with disabilities are not left out behind for each of the goals and targets. Thank you.